Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. I am Adanna Combie, and we continue conversation in studio with our guest. And this morning we're speaking with the man Bishop Terance Baynes. He's the Bishop of the Victory Place International Tobago. You know him as Assemblyman, but he's also a man of faith. And we're here this morning to speak about World Interfaith Harmony Week, which begins today. It begins today from the 1st to the 7th of February. So we're going to have that conversation, get some insight as to what this is and where the Victory Place International stands in all of this. Good morning, Bishop Baynes. Good morning and welcome. It's always, why are you laughing? It's always a pleasure to have you here. It's always a pleasure having conversations with you. And this is why, you're a cheerful man. And I like this about you.
Good morning to you, ma'am, and good morning to all the viewers and so on. And it is always a privilege to have conversations on the various issues and so on. And this particular one that we're discussing today, I really, in all honesty, it is the first time I'm hearing of this. I don't know if it's something that they have been doing yearly and so on. But because in my capacity, yes, as bishop, but in my capacity as assemblyman and in the division of community development, we launched what is called the Tobago Fit Based Council, which has to do with all faith-based organizations and so on. And from that perspective, I can share certain thoughts as it relates to today. I am cautiously going to say I believe that it may even be new to us in Tobago because there is no planned activity as far as I am aware for the day, although it's not too late.
That's right.
You understand? Yes. But this is a very interesting. This is the first time I'm hearing it. Was yesterday.
It's the first time I'm hearing of it too. But I did a little research, and I think they began in 2010.
Okay.
So we're in the 3rd, 14th year now. So that's when they started, and I think they're talking about reuniting for peace and, of course, for harmony and non-violence. And you're taking a very good position there from where you sit as an assemblyman for seeing the importance to come together.
Sure. I mean, while in terms of philosophy of the various faith-based organizations, the messages may vary, but there is commonality among all faith-based organizations as it relates to the mandate that they have to the community in which they find themselves. All of us can agree, regardless of what faith you subscribe to, that how you treat your fellow men, how you respond to law and order in your community, your respect for your environment. There are these basic things that all of us can agree on. And I think that if there is a championship place for this type of harmony, it would be there, because certainly we will not have harmony and unison as it relates to the spiritual aspirations or philosophies that varies across the board, but the organizations can come together on common ground, and I think that this is the philosophy of this.
And as you said this, I remember it takes me back to a song that Kurt Allen sang many years ago, and the line that I remember the most is, everybody believes in something, and they believe that their something is the right thing.
Well, sure.
Right? And so that's where all these different faiths come in. But you rightfully said that we all have the same goal, the same commonality in terms of we are looking for something that is better than something that is negative. We're all looking for something positive. We're all looking for something that is peaceful and that unites people and humanity in a good place. So this, I think, is a very good initiative. I know it's new to Tobago, and I'm looking to see how this can revolutionize in how we can roll out in our Tobago space.
Well, remember the Tobago that we envisage in our mind, this greatest little island on the planet, is an island. It is a work in progress, and for us to build this Tobago, it requires the support and the work of all the agencies on the island, which includes faith-based organizations. And so faith-based organizations have their own mandate to their congregants and so on, teaching and inspiring them to make positive contributions to their families and to their communities and by extension the island. So if all the players, right, do their messaging effectively, certainly we are going to have better people in the society.
That's right.
So we are going to have better people in the workforce, we're going to have better people in the schools, we're going to have better people in every aspect of life. And so we have an appreciation for where we're trying to go and why it is important for us to support faith-based organizations as well, so that they can be assisted in carrying out their mandate. All of us, we are existing in an environment where resource and access to opportunities, access to physical support systems and so on to optimize the message that we are sharing with our people. And so I think that this type of initiative, and it is helpful for us, because I have been saying since we started this faith-based thing in Tobago that the mandate, while each faith-based organization has their personal mandate, but the mandate has to be extensive. The mandate has to tie into the mandate of the objective, which is to make Tobago the best or greatest little island on the planet. You understand? And Tobago becoming that is not just the physical land space, it is the people of Tobago.
That's
you understand? The people are the greatest resource and the greatest pillars in realizing this. And so I think that the working together on these common issues, God knows we have spent a considerable amount of time battling some of the spiritual things and all of that stuff, and that is not going to end.
That's right.
You understand? But I feel that if we can improve society, if we can create a better environment where we have so much violence in and around us and so on, and if by our messaging, by our actions, we are able to influence people to make better choices. We are able to influence people to have a greater amount of love and appreciation for their fellow men. Because if you see me as another human being that deserves the right to live and to aspire to better things in the society, you wouldn't try to take my life.
That's right.
You understand? You wouldn't try to prevent me from excelling and all those kinds of things. Mind you, we are not in a perfect society, so I'm not naive about those things. We are not in a perfect place. People have different issues. People are driven by different forces and all those kinds of things. But at the same time, while we're in that environment, we have to do everything in our power as people that are engaged in the morality business.
Right.
You understand? Right. Because that is another issue. That is another thing that faith-based organizations are supposed to address morality, and morality is not something you could legislate.
That's right.
You understand? So faith-based organizations should teach and preach and all of that to have people to live in the best moral environment that they can. Right? Now, while morality cannot be legislated, behavior have to be regulated.
That's right. Oh, that's right. That's
you understand?
Preach.
You understand? So we believe that once your morality issues are reasonable, let me put it that way, that is going to impact your behavior.
Definitely. Definitely.
And so that will produce a better society, and so on. The police will have less work, running up and down in this block and that block and that kind of thing, and engage in more community policing and those kinds of things and that kind of stuff. So I feel that there is credence in this. And certainly I would, as I have continued to say to the council, that the government will provide all the kind of support that the government can provide to help to execute, because all of us want to live in a society that is user-friendly for everybody.
That's right. Yes. And since the establishment or the implementation of this faith-based organization here in Tobago, how has the response been from the faith?
Yes, I mean it has been overwhelming, as you can appreciate. The philosophy behind it is to provide support from the whole government for faith-based organizations. So it's not just, while it includes it, it's not just giving financial support to our church or organization, but also giving support, infrastructural support.
I was just about to ask,
the Division of Health and Social Services and so on. There may be issues there. There are references there. There may be issues regarding to education and different educational things that you may want to do. We reference them to education. If you want to have an agricultural project or whatever, we reference it to. So all the divisions, there are liaison officers in all the divisions. And so instead of you running to the parish and parish, you are directed dependent on the immediate need that you have. And so we want to send that message that when you come to the council, you must not have in your mind only dollars and cents, because the kind that you need may be much more available than the cash.
That's
you
right.
understand?
That's right.
Because obviously we start out with a cap. I think it's about $50,000 at the highest end that we can give to an organization at this particular point in time. But you may have an issue with construction. You may be constructing something, and the services that you require, $50,000 can't give you that.
That's right. That's right.
So the Division of Infrastructure with their engineers and so can reach out and assist you with that. So we want people to understand that it is not just about money, it is about providing government support to help you to execute your duty and so on. I mean, and as a church, we continue to optimize our message. We have been accused in the past of just focusing on internal ministry or in-reach and neglecting extensive outreach. I mean, that is arguable, you understand? But I think that as we see the society evolving, most church leaders are grappling with their reality. And I continue to see that the church leaders, especially in the island of Tobago, have been doing exceptional work over the years. You understand? I do not support those people who are very pessimistic and attack the church for society's ills. You understand? Because human beings are creatures of will and they make choices and so on. There is no way, no churchman, no police, no security force, you cannot make the decision for a man in Charlottesville when you're down in town.
That's right. That's right.
You hope that in the work that you do, that the man that is not in your presence, that man, based on influences and based on your messaging, will reference your message and make a different
decision.
Kind of choice.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? So that is why we have to optimize that. And also, we have come to the understanding too that there are more things that we need to do innovatively in our various churches or mosques or mandir or whatever you call it, to have a greater social reach. You understand? Now we have to also appreciate that in the evolution of church of faith-based organizations, we used to focus on our people internally, how we build our people, and then we see, well, as our people go out into the environment, that we expect them to touch the environment. So our philosophy was more ambassadorial. You understand?
That's
right? But we are now understanding that there is a place for both. There is a place for you continuing to send out your ambassadors, but also as a center that you can, because you have these people that are very intelligent that are coming to these various organizations and so on, and they have skills and abilities and they are very innovative, and we can plan, more programs with a social touch. Everything really that we do in our organizations are not prayers. Everything is not prayers. You understand?
Take action also.
Yeah, some of them is just work. Some of them is just social things. Some of them is just, that is not a heaven or hell issue. You understand? And so I think that we are in an environment now that is very dynamic, and so there is place for, like I said, this type of harmony, and we are not at all saying that everybody believe the same thing and about heaven and hell, or whether some believe that or not. We are just saying that there are some issues that are earthly.
That's right.
Right? There are some earthly issues that all of us can agree on, because we want to make sure that the environment that we are in now is the best environment for all of us
That
to
is
thrive.
right.
And so that is why that is important.
That is right. Thank you so much, Bishop Assemblyman Terance Baynes, for bringing some insight there and also tying into the overarching mandate of the World Interfaith Harmony Week and what we are doing here in Tobago, what the Assembly is doing, and what the faith-based organizations in Tobago are doing for our communities and our spaces here in Tobago. We all live in this common space, and we all want this space to be beautiful for all of us, as we boast the most beautiful little island on the planet, and that's what we're trying to establish here in Tobago. So we're asking all of you to join with us as we roll out these initiatives and these programs and access the resources that are available to make your spaces comfortable living, conducive living for yourself, for your children, and for generations to come. We've been speaking with Assemblyman Bishop Terance Baynes on Interfaith Week, and we're talking about harmony and uniting people together. Thank you so much.
Indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go for a short break before we continue conversations with our guests in studio. And of course, we thank you so much for staying with us. And as you stay, we invite you to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.